Hello, my beautiful souls. I'm Lily. Welcome back to my channel, Mindful Beauty and Wellness. In this video, I'm going to go through the elements, all elements, my earth, water, fire, and air signs to see how this new moon in Leo will affect you guys and checking on that energy. This new moon in Leo is all about the heart. Having courage, being heart-centered, doing things intentionally through the heart. It's reclaiming us, or it's asking us to reclaim our boldness, our confidence, to ignite that fire within us to go for the things that we want, or at least plan for them, because we still have a few planets in retrograde, including Mercury. And I did a video that you should check out as well. What else should I cover? Let's just dive right in. Please like, share, and subscribe. I also have a Buy Me a Coffee donation page, which I thought was pretty cute. So if these messages resonate with you, definitely, this is an exchange of energy. Check out the links in my description box below to book a personal reading with me, whether it be for insightful guidance or a virtual distant Reiki, chakra balancing, healing session. I love doing those. All right, so let's start with our earth signs, which is my Taurus, Virgos, and Capricorns. What is in store for my earth signs, my Virgos, Taurus, Capricorns during this new moon? Let's see. I don't hear my music. I hope everyone is doing well. Happy birthday, my Leos. All right, this is for my earth signs. Don't let the past hold you back. And luck is on your side. I love that. Let's see. What else do we have? For my earth signs, I don't feel like the past is holding you back. I think my earth signs have gotten pretty good clarity on maybe. So there's looking to be like some sort of deception, lies. The heart is desperate. What were the quotes? I don't know. I can't think of it right now. But you got the moon, the Three of Swords, and the Emperor. So this is really about like I feel like my earth signs are really getting some information that they didn't know about that has come to light. Something about to do with like work. Something to do with work is not clear, and someone's coming in to help with like maybe guidance or support, or giving you direction that has experience with what it is that you are working on when it comes to like your career goals. It feels like you're toying with the past, and this energy is really strong with, if you haven't learned your lesson from the past, this is going to be rough. I do feel like my earth signs are more aware about how their current situation isn't the way that they want it to be because of their earth signs, and that awareness is everything. I do believe that the moon, you're feeling maybe more emotional towards reaching your goals, or stepping out of your comfort zone. So, you know, it's hard to change an old pattern, old behavior. But the first step is that awareness that you know that this doesn't feel good anymore. You know, thinking about the past doesn't feel good anymore, especially if you're not taking any positive actions towards it. So you're really, you know, struggling with letting go of the old things that you like, your fears about your career, your fears about starting a new family, your fears about moving. You know, the energies are, even though it's retrograde and it's asking us to realign and reset, it's asking us to get really bold with our truth, with things that, you know, maybe we don't want to hear, or we haven't been wanting to hear, we've been blocking it, but now, you know, it's coming up again. You got 2 cards that fell out, and that's emotional loss. So you got it twice. Look, I hope nothing terrible happens within this new moon where you have an emotional loss with somebody close and dear to you, but you have this twice. It fell out twice. And it has, you know, something to do with your foundation and your security. Maybe, you know, something happened, or something will happen within the next few days to couple weeks where what you don't see coming could break your heart, could disappoint you, could lead to a disappointment. But what I do like is that it helps to, you know, the positive spin on this, it just elevates your situation to the next step in a way that you've taken all of the hurt and the wisdom and, you know, the lessons, and you're making something solid and secure with it. So I get that very strongly because, oh man, you got the moon twice. All right, so the new moon is asking you to really, really, really step in on creating a plan for yourself. Step out of the comfort zone, step out of being hidden, step out of the people who are hiding things from you, or like, you know, if you already feel that when you go into work, there's going to be drama, just, you know, this could be the time where you can avoid it. And maybe that's why you have a loss, you know, an emotional loss, or a disappointment. But I think that what's being revealed to you, because, you know, it is the moonlight brings about what's underneath the surface. You know, it could be competition that's been going on in the, you know, the workspace for a long time is now just blowing up, and allow it to blow up. Allow it, you know, feel the feels, you know, feel the anguish. But I do feel like a card fell, huh? This person, the Emperor, or you take on the energy of an Emperor, gives a lot of clarity to like how to accomplish this now. Now, after the firing or letting go or the breakup, or, you know, whatever this loss is, you know, this emotional loss with 2 moon cards to confirm it, and the 3 of Swords and the 5 of Cups, it's helping you to heal what is going on in the past and letting you know you are good enough, you can overcome this situation, and that you know, go deep inside. Like, all of this is coming up again so that you don't have to repeat this cycle where you're going next. You know, things are very in your face nowadays. Hate is in your face, jealousy is in your face. Before, it was under the table and there was a lot of fake, and that still goes on. But I think what we're seeing now is that people are not having greed, racism in a way that we've never seen before. And there's a lot of changes going on in the world where we have to now create something completely new and feel safe and secure. And I think what we're going through now is that breakdown of seeing things for what they really are. The moon really emotionally playing a big part on bringing light to a disappointing situation, whether it be family, work, or anything personal. But that, you know, and again, I send you guys a big hug and, you know, my light, high vibrating energy for you if you are suffering any kind of a loss. But, you know, everything goes through like a rebirth. And I feel like this is an opportunity through this new moon to really ask yourself, how can you start a new beginning, the full from what's happened or what's happening that is ending. And then the Eight of Cups, again, you know, emotional discontentment. So, you know, if you have some things that are just coming back again from the past, because we are also in these planets in retrograde, you know, this is your opportunity to face it, to stand up to it, and to feel the feels, the emotional loss, the heartbreak, and know that because of this experience that, you know, whatever, if this resonates with you guys, that it's going to take you to becoming more grounded in what's next, in building a firm foundation. So I'm sorry that this wasn't like one of like the more upbeat kind of readings that I've had with you guys. I don't think ever. This one kind of felt kind of emotional, pain, like loss, instead of, you know, but it's just energy. And, you know, everything is, we all have free will. Again, if this doesn't resonate with you, check your other placements, which is, you know, your rising sign or your moon sign, your Venus placements. You know, if you don't know how to find those things, you can send me a message and I can send you a link to get your chart, your birth chart, and then you could get a better picture, an overall picture of what's going on with this energy for the new moon for my earth signs. But, you know, I'll be with you in the next video. And again, yeah, I'm going to keep going because I don't want to keep digging. And if you need a personal reading in this regard, if this resonates, definitely check out my information and we can dig in a little bit deeper. But this is very general. All right, so I'm going to move on to my water signs, which are my Cancers, Scorpios, and Pisceans. So what's going on for my water signs, my Cancers, my Scorpios, and my Pisceans? This energy for this new moon is asking you to, you know, water is all about our emotions. So express your feelings in a different way, maybe in a way that you've never done before. You know, you can reconnect with family members. We're in summer vacation time. You can allow yourself, you know, more inner peace and quiet, and like this downtime to really to connect to your emotions and, you know, do some clearing, I feel like. All right, so this is for my Cancer, my Scorpios, and my Pisceans. My Cancer, my Scorpios, and my Pisces. What's the energy for this new moon in Leo? New moon in Leo. A new romantic cycle begins. You're very close to achieving your goals and step out of your comfort zone. So this to me feels very much like it's time for my water signs to, if you're single, get out there, meet people. If you are in a relationship, to renew, you know, reignite those, you know, feelings and reconnect to your partner, and, you know, remind yourself the reasons why you guys got together, and do things to feel more like, you know, love, you know, do more romantic things. And that could, you know, it says here, step out of your comfort zone. You know, it could be difficult for my water signs right now, but this is a good opportunity with the new moon to set those intentions, to start a new, you know, love with yourself or with your partner. or with your with your work situation, your career relationship. Maybe, you know, the last couple months have been a little bit, you know, I don't want to say slow, but you lost a little bit of desire for what you do for work, or, you know, it just slowed down, and you know, it's not as exciting. And I think it's maybe asking you to reconnect with the joys of what you do for you know, creativity, for, you know, with your relationship, with your career goals. Like that joy, it's a really good time to step into that, with this new moon energy, and also to like make more bold moves when it comes to, you know, all areas of your life. Okay, what else is going on for my Cancers, my Scorpios, and my Pisces? What else is going on with my Cancers? Star healing energy, and also just stepping out of your comfort zone type of energy. Okay, let's see what else is going on for my Cancers, my Scorpios, and my Pisces. Yeah, it's time to get out of Hermit. It's time to get out of your shell. Hermit, step out of your comfort zone. The healing card, like some of my water signs have been toying around with, you know, getting back out there, dating, meeting new people, or, you know, if there's someone from your past that you still feel like it was unsettled, or, you know, wasn't a complete story, there's like things to be said. This would be a wonderful time, especially with Mercury in retrograde. You know, I think I've said this in another video. All the exes come back, all the friendships, you know, from the past that, you know, maybe it's time to heal. It's time to heal them, you know. A lot of the things that that we keep inside, you know, a lot of the times, you know, throughout time, it shows up physically in our bodies, or it shows up in other people, like, you know, repeating the same cycle, so that you have to heal that part of your heart, so that you can level up to the next, you know, graduate, you know. Like if marriage is not your thing, but commitment is, what does that look like for you? The Six of Cups, the crown chakra, like how could you communicate? The throat chakra card comes out. You know, if you guys, especially my Cancers, love a home where everything is like their sanctuary, and it's so specifically set up to feel like a place of healing and, you know, restoration for you guys. Some of you have been, you know, wanting to bring some of that inner child back into a relationship, a work project, or some, you know, old love, you know, the way things used to be when it comes to love. Or if you never experienced true love, that this is maybe the time that you want to explore it and start going out and really stepping out of your comfort zone. You know what I mean? Maybe you're not the type ever to say I love you first, and this is all of us, this is what it means to get out of your comfort zone, things like that, you know. Maybe you've never lived with anybody, and this is the time that now you want to build a foundation where, you know, you can make space for that other person, but still have your space set up in a certain way. I mean, we've entered, especially during, you know, COVID times, a place where we became very creative in how we have a, you know, set up our home set up, and couples, you know, sleeping in different bedrooms, or one person being the neighbor next door, and the other one, you know, scheduling the days that they meet, and, you know, how they really can have a relationship but still have their independence and trust. And, you know, a lot of people have made different ways on how to do relationships. And I think my water signs are really wanting to dig into, while there's downtime, you know, while they're on vacation, exploring different ways to bring in love, relationship, partnership into the mix. All right. What else do, you know, this is Leo. Leo season is ruled by the heart. So it is, again, about being bold and, you know, possibly making the first move, making that first phone call. if there's somebody that's on your mind repeatedly, and you know it is definitely the end, and you know that there's no way of communicating with that person where you're going to get a favorable outcome, then this would have to be the time for you to find other ways. Write the letter and never send it, you know, send the text message, never send it, but just to, you know, seek therapy. Find ways to energetically disconnect. I do Reiki, where I help people disconnect from past situations and be more present, and you know, in your own energy and enjoying what it's like to be in your own energy. But I feel like my water signs are more about, in this new moon, reconnecting with partners, reconnecting with other people. I feel like they've been solo for a long time and just busy working. And I said busy a lot. So you got the Sun, which is great, the Hangman, and the Knight of Pentacles. So last messages. Whatever it is that brings you like happiness and joy, do more of that. Whatever it is that you're scared of doing when it comes to, you know, love and relationships, warm up to taking the first steps. You know, feel a person out. Maybe just don't throw everything out there. Just connect to see where that person is. Are they open to hearing where you're coming from? You know, and then also, you know, if you haven't treated yourself to a massage or a facial or any kind of self-care practices, I think this is a really good time to do that. I feel like I just felt an energy, you know, going out and booking a day of all of these self-care services, and then they start talking to somebody that they connect with that all of a sudden becomes something. So, you know, things like that, I feel like that's really important for my water sign. It's connection, it's that home life, it's that sanctuary, it's connect, you know, it's like, if you haven't been creative, this is a good time to like really get back into that joy, that reason why you started, you know, what you're doing as your career to begin with. All right, so also I do get, if there is anything that you need to communicate, pause before it just goes out there. I feel like if you don't, you might find yourself putting your foot in your mouth type of deal. You might say something that bites you later. So really take your time. Have patience with how you want to communicate. You know, maybe if there's been something really heavy on your heart that you've been wanting to communicate, talk to a close friend, confide in someone, and, you know, tell them first and see how it sounds. I don't know. It does definitely feels like there's an opportunity here for healing through communication. Okay? And just really having more joy, love, and fun with the way that you communicate by stepping out of your comfort zone. All right, I hope that helped for my water signs. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, especially if this resonates. My next element is my fire signs that I'm going to be tapping into their energy for this new moon in Leo. My fire signs are my Aries, Leos, and Sagittarians. All right, what are the messages for my fire signs, my Aries, my Leos, and my Sagittarius for this new moon energy? My fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So, for my fire signs, I feel like it's time for you guys to like take the bull by the horns and just like get your way. Like set bold intentions to move forward. Like, say yes to projects. Say yes to, like, if you feel like all of a sudden this you know, opportunity that comes out of nowhere just really excites you and you just feel really, go for it. Just go. Even if Mercury's in retrograde and all the things and all the planets are in retrograde. This is the time for my fire signs to show the world what they got. Like, share your light, share your journey, share, you know, instead of shrinking to other people's, for, you know, for conveniences. This is the time. Like, no. My fire signs need to take bold actions towards your hard work is paying off. Luck is on your side. Full moon in Sagittarius, and energy is gaining momentum. So I feel like if you continue going, my fire signs, regardless of how hard shit is, you're gonna win. You're gonna get there. You're gonna be good. Keep the energy, you know, like someone told me the other day, you know, and I believe this, and it's more true than anything, and I always feel like I wait a certain time to like get motivated to do things, and it's just like, no, you have to take the action, and that creates the motivation. You're never gonna get motivated to work out. Most people don't. Like, there are people, and God bless you guys, that wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning regardless, and they out there working out before the sun rises. I honor you. I respect that. Good for you. Yay. There are other people, most of the people I know, who struggle and fight and have to do all kinds of trickery to get their asses up. 5 alarm clocks with all different times. I don't know. Just, this is the time for my fire signs that if they've had difficulties with getting to their goals, obstacles and blocks, and they have to keep like and get like, oh God, okay, I'm up, and then they get knocked, and then they get up, and then they get knocked, and then they get up, that you just keep. And I'm sorry, and I know a lot of people do not want to get up, they just need a break. But because we have this new moon and we're in the summer months, that we, instead of just jumping off the cliff, just prepare more. Just take the energy that's in momentum, that's gaining momentum, and take those baby steps one at a time, and just keep going. I feel like, yeah, the Hierophant, the Fool, you know, do your spiritual practices. Don't leave home without your spirit guides. Don't leave home without doing your prayers. Don't, try your best, and remember that you're always being guided through spirit. And then the Two of Cups. So my fire signs are also ready for partnerships. Another one that, I would say, if you've been stuck in a rut with dating, that this is a great opportunity to start going out there and talking to people and exploring, and do something where you feel like there's a you've never done, like, again, before. Go to restaurants and places that you've never traveled to before. Look up classes. And I don't know, I also feel like education, partnerships and alliances, like, you got another one, you know what I mean? Like, I really do feel like my fire signs are ready to either study something new, or get a partner, or even get into a relationship if you're single, that you haven't done and had in a long time. Fertility, please be careful. We got to, if you're not ready for children, this could be the time that happens. So if you aren't, God bless, and I hope that all works out. It also could be like a rebirth to patience. Us fire signs don't like that. What do you mean, patience? The waiting game. Yeah. I also get for my fire signs that even though you're ready to go, other people may not be. Don't blow up on them just because they're not. You know, try to have patience. You know, do your best to look up some guided meditation practices, because it could interfere with, you know, where you're going and the outcome that you want. Energy is fluid, you know. I do feel like with these cards, you know, they are talking about having patience for the right opportunity that's just, it's like right there, it's right outside the door, it's in your aura. It could be through travel that you meet someone that you didn't expect. It could be a foreigner and you've never dated a foreigner, just because, you know, you're traveling. And it feels like good energy for these new people that are coming into my fire signs, like, lives. What are the messages or final messages for my fire signs? I do get a relationship is coming if you're not in one. If you're single, I think this is a very good opportunity and time. The energy is really saying, get out of your rut and get out there and find some people. Yeah, look, all new beginnings. All new beginnings. I got a lot of pages in the Seven of Wands here. You know, there's something about your life that's about to take off. What in the hell is that music? Something in your life is about to take off, and it requires you to keep going, but use your intuition as your guide, right? Like music, you know, you could tell when the music is a certain rhythm and when to pick up and when to slow down, and, you know, when the crowd is getting bleak, when it's time to go, when it's, you know, like, I don't know, I feel like your energy is very on point, on timing, on divine timing. And so trust that process, you know, trust the process of when it's time to leave the room, when it's time to say, you know, a certain thing, when it's time to submit a certain paper. Like, trust the process of everything. Like, if your computer is acting up but you have to submit, you know, some sort of documents, then just step away for a few minutes and calm your energy, be more present, and then keep going. Don't give up just because the computer, you know, shut down or didn't work for you, or something happened that interrupted the process. Don't stop. Just allow it, give it some time. You know, I know for me, sometimes my electromagnetic energy can be so strong that anything I touch, a device, GPS, computer, car, just should be popping off. It's just like, I think I need to calm down my energy and then we'll start all over again in a few minutes. But I'm aware of that now. Before it'd be like, nah, no, we got to go. And I'm going to just keep going. And I kept getting hits, you know what I mean? And it's just like, okay, this can go on for a very long time and I'm tired. So I'm going to learn how to sit my ass down and just wait for a few more minutes, and then I'm going to try again. And this is what this energy is telling you, fire signs, to do. Just as frustrating as something can be, as tiresome and exhausting as something is, you're onto something really important, very, very worthy of your time. And don't give up. That's the message for my fire signs. Do not give up. Have patience. And you are birthing something new, which I love. You know, you're coming to the end of a project, and, you know, you have a few more things that unexpectedly came up, but, you know, it's that end and that rebirth, that waiting and that patience is all gonna come together, and it's gonna be very beautiful when it does. I feel my fire signs, you know, very soon they will be happy and celebrating. Very, very soon. All right, I hope that helps. Again, don't forget to check out my website for a personal reading, Mindful Beauty Life. If this, this is very general. Also, I like to say it because sometimes people hear these messages and it doesn't resonate for them, but it could be, flipping the script. It could be reverse. It could be, I could be saying something about a person that you're dealing with and not you. You know what I mean? Because I've gotten that a lot, where somebody comes to me and it's just like, that situation you were talking about, it wasn't me, it was this person. And I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? And it just, sometimes the energies come up very, very strong. So check your placements. Your birth, wow, air signs, a little Thumbelina here. Let's do earth signs now. Air. Air is my Gemini. Boy, Mercury in retrograde. My GPS did not work. My car situation, no. But once everything goes direct, it'll be fine again. All right, so my air signs are my Geminis, my Libras, and my Aquarians. What is going on for the new moon in Leo for my air signs, my Geminis, my Libras, and my Aquarians? A personal issue reaches resolution. Bring love into the situation, and prosperity lies ahead. I like it. I like it. And then, so I get with my air signs, there's a lot of going back and forth with, I don't work, personal relationships. Again, this is very, very general. But I feel like with my air signs, there's a lot of conversations. And it could be very heated. And possibly even explosive. But I do feel that if we use this retrograde energy to reset and realign ourselves, I'm not going to take these. I'm going to take them. Because there is a choice here that has to be made through withholding. And there is also a situation that felt like it would never end, about to end. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I'll just take, because I do like the Ten of Swords in reverse. So it's time to bring love into a situation, and maybe to all the situations that are going on in your life. Because just a lot of words have been exchanged, and there's a lot of, and I feel like rightfully so, because I'm also getting like, I feel like my air signs know exactly how things went down. They took notes, they have details, and there's no arguing here. But for some reason, there's an issue, which is a personal issue reaches resolution. So, since all the things have been done already, the communication, and if it hasn't, it feels like it will during this new moon. Maybe now speak your truth with a little flair, a little bit more like graceful, gentler, softer, something like that. You know what I mean? Not so hard, not so like, matter of fact. Maybe a little bit more Queen of Swords you guys came up with in your own reading. More level-headed when it comes to talking about a certain situation or communicating something that's going on in your life with people. Again, fast communication, when my air signs have their thoughts together and they want to express themselves, you know, they do it very effectively, clearly, quickly. And, you know, my air signs, because, you know, there's a high vibrating um, group, and then there's the low vibrational group. And I feel like my high vibrational group of air signs are really clear about how they want to move forward in their lives, how they want to feel love, how they want to be in relationship, how they want to work on projects. You know, their communication is accelerated through wisdom, experience, and you know, ready to transform to the next, you know, graduate to the next level of their lives. And I feel like my air signs are tired of people withholding information from them, or, you know, taking the easy way out. And this is a great opportunity to just, if you've submitted all the paperwork, if you said what you needed to say, if you've communicated in different forms, styles, ways of communicating, and you still don't have the outcome that you expected, this is a way now to do it differently, more loving, more, when it comes to like creating, do it in a way that leads with the heart. You know, now we know that heart coherence um has gives out more energy and information to the brain, rather than the brain to the heart. Heart is what leads everything, you know. um so just pause, you know, come from your heart this time around. The devil card came out, and the 9 of Cups. And see, you know, could there be any toxic ways that people are communicating with you, or you're communicating with people, and how could you clean that up? You know what I mean? Or how could you set better boundaries? How could you what give yourself different outcomes of a toxic relationship? And, you know, meaning, if I do it this way, there's a possibility that it could affect me, and this is your outcome, not other people's. Like, you know, how you want to feel at the end. You know, if you put up these boundaries in this situation, you know, what could that mean for you? How could that create more stability in your life? You know, how could you find more inner peace if I just take a seat back now and act as if I already have the emotional fulfillment that I'm wishing for, or I'm going for, I'm reaching for, I'm, you know, working on. Instead of taking all the actions, and I'm not saying not to, but if you're an air sign that has taken all actions to attain a certain goal, but the goal hasn't actually you know, unfolded in the way that you wish, then maybe this is the time to find a different way of communicating. Like I said, again, something tells me slower, more graceful, more rooted in your root chakra, like more grounded. And also, I feel like act as if it already has happened. You know, that you are the empress that has all the things in the relationship and the business. And, you know, visualize how your day, you know, from the moment you wake up is flowing, how, you know, you're working through your conversations, going to the train, getting in your car, having the meeting, going to the class, all of it, whatever your day-to-day activity is. How could you go about it this time with more flow and feels, rather than overthinking, head talking, communicating? Like, maybe come down from up here and root yourself, so that you know, the story is, you know, it's valid, it's, you know, it's all the things that you've worked on, but now there's more compassion and care and softness to it. So yeah, I think that that's something to work on and to help you with this new moon energy. Like, for all elements to bring in the intention of confidence, you know, connect through love and grounding. We're still in the summer month, so you know, I know that Mercury in retrograde is not the greatest time to launch your new whatever, but it is a great time to get into the feels of it more, you know, get into more details about a certain situation, you know, find out more ways to be in, you know, be in a relationship or a project, or get more information maybe before you just go out there and say whatever. I hope this makes sense. I hope this helped. Again, these are quick for all elements readings and energy for this new moon. I hope this helped. Again, if you like this video and these messages resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe. And until the next one, I wish you guys so much love and peace. And please, please, if you know, like I tell everyone, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. We are going through such difficult times, and the people that are near and dear to us and that are closest to us affect our energy. No matter how much we try, just if we could, I invite all of us to bring more love into your situation. All right, that's it for now, and until the next one, bye.